Alright, we're on hole number 2 of the Winter Slopes tournament in the rookie division. We're in Tuesday's qualifying round. We're trying to qualify today, so we want to make sure we get this right. So I'm recommending, this is a very tricky shot up here as far as with the red line and the wind and making the right wind adjustment. And, most people are going to play this shot because you can use a marlin. You can use a zero power ball. But I'm going to try and take all of this stuff out of play, and I'm going for the shot, the pure rough bump right off of this boot. So I'm going to use an extra mile. And I normally play it in the back, but that adjustment that's right there is very tricky, and I'd rather just be up front. So the only club we should need is an extra mile. We're going to put on a half a top spin and 2 right hand side spin, and we're going to add 10% onto the wind, and we're going to bring a katana ball. So we're all set. And when I got hole 1 last time, I was on hole 2 and got it in the shootout, and that's why I had a katana ball. And the katanas were right at the red line. So that means we don't have to factor in 10% and try and figure out where we're at as far as mid or min. A lot of these holes, that's really a big determination, especially on the par 3s, but those holes is where you're at on the red line. Do you want to be at minimum red line, or you want to be at maximum red line in that club, or... So our opponent's trying a 4th way, and you can go over on that side. Let's see how they do. It doesn't look like they're going to do good. Their ball was all the way up there. I'm not sure why they used overpower. I was talking and not paying attention. Okay, so we want to be... There's the rough over here, so there's the rough. We want to be right in the center of that. And we're going to put on half a top spin and 2 right hand curl. Two 6. Okay, let's see. This doesn't feel good. Oh, ran out of time. And it was a perfect shot, too. So I guess we probably won't be qualifying today. Unless we can hole-in-one it. We're going to play pretty aggressive until we get to hole 5, because hole 5 is a super albatross shot. If I can pick up the albatross and end up with a 14 with an albatross, the goal here today is a 14, minus 14. So if we can get a minus 14, and we had to pick up something extra in order to get it, and we can go in with a minus 14 and an albatross, I'll be happy with that. Alright, 3.5. It's a little over a ring and a half, and I mean just a little over. We hit it great to the right. That's going to put us in the sand. Wow, we got lucky we didn't end up in the sand. So we still got some work to do on this shot. I got to go back and watch the videos. I must have wrote the numbers down wrong. Because it seems like we're going to need a little bit of backspin if we're on that side. You know, I think those numbers, that number half top spin and 2.5 right side spin, is if you're in the back. That's the deal. I changed how I was going to play that, and I didn't write down the numbers for the shot I decided to take. I still have the numbers on my notes for the other shot. All right, so we missed the eagle on 2. That's not good. We can't afford to do that in the opening and the weekend rounds. The next 4 times we play this hole, we've got to hammer it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to get a top 5, you're going to have to hit an eagle on that every time you get to it. You're going to have to hit an eagle on number 8 every time you get to it. All right, that was number 2, a disappointing number 2. That's what happens. See, I change stuff when I'm practicing, and I didn't keep track of it on my notes. So it's really important to keep track of what you're doing on your notes. So I'll have to go back and watch the video on that and see what I was applying in that front shot. But if you're taking the back shot, you're going to do a 10% wind adjustment. So if you're taking this shot from back here, you want to make a 10% wind adjustment. So if you're using an extra mile, if it's, I'm not sure what level, but you know, if it's in that 2.1 per ring range, you know, just keep in mind you're going to move 10%. And then I was putting on a half a top spin and 2 right hand side spin, and I was coming more down towards here, but once it tends to hop a little, so I'm okay with being down here because I want to take this sand and that rough out here, because as the further you go up, the more the rough comes into play and that sand gets in there. So just end up out here. All right, that was hole number 2 of the Winter Slopes Tournament in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.